Facts First presents. This photo is not edited. Look closer at the Beverly Hillbillies Blooper. The Beverly Hillbillies was a very popular show. It focused on a very poor family who one day struck it rich and moved to Beverly Hills. Since they were a family of poor hillbillies living in one of the most affluent neighborhoods in the U.S., there were plenty of laughs to be had. If you think you know all there is to know about the show, you're wrong. Here are a few little-known things about the show that was loved by millions. Before we get into the list, drop down to the comments and tell us, did you used to watch the Beverly Hillbillies, even if it was on reruns? If so, who was your favorite character? Come on, guys, admit it. It was Ellie Mae, right? Of course it was. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. The critics didn't like the show. The show was a huge hit, and it earned 7 Emmy nominations during its run. For some reason, though, as much as the audience loved the show, the critics didn't. They found the show to be strained and unfunny. Some even said that it was painful to watch. Clearly, you can't always trust the critics since the Beverly Hillbillies was one of the most watched shows on TV. A career in politics. Nancy Culp is the actress who played Miss Jane Hathaway. When her television career ran its course, she decided to move on to her other love, politics. After leaving Hollywood, she ran for office in the United States House of Representatives in Pennsylvania. Wow, talk about a significant career change, at least at the time. Of course, now we've always got actors going for Congress, and it doesn't seem to be any big deal. A cheap location. The Beverly Hillbillies was actually filmed in a Beverly Hills mansion. Paul Henning, the creator of the show, he found a mansion in Beverly Hills for them to shoot in, and it cost him just $500. Yeah, that is the mansion. It's absolutely breathtaking. A rivalry. Buddy Ebsen, the man who played Jed Clampett, he didn't really get along with Nancy Culp on set. When the show ended, she placed her focus on politics, and Buddy didn't support her. He was so against her campaign, he volunteered to make a radio campaign to support her opponent. Yikes! When Nancy lost the election, she never forgave Buddy for going against her. She says she lost all respect for her former co-star. The mansion's owner. Arnold Kirkby was the man who owned the mansion where Beverly Hillbillies was shot. Sadly, he died in a plane crash just a few months before the first episode aired. His wife remained in the mansion, and she agreed to let the show keep filming there as long as they didn't disclose the address of her home. Well, it didn't take long for fans to figure it out, though, and large crowds would often gather at the gate hoping to catch a glimpse of the cast members. Typecast. Maximilian Adalbert, or Max Bear Jr., he's the man who played the role of the dim-witted Jethro Bodine. The fans of the show loved him, but when the show came to an end, he believes that playing that dimwit killed his career. He auditioned for numerous roles after the show ended, but he was turned down by every single one. He was sure he was being typecast. He just played that character too well. He decided to stick to writing, directing, and producing, and he's still doing that today. Sharon Tate. Sharon Tate is the up-and-coming actress who became a household name when she and her friends were brutally murdered by the Manson family. Sadly, she was 8 months pregnant at the time. Before her death, she had a recurring role in the Beverly Hillbillies. Many people don't know that. She was disguised in a brunette wig and she appeared in 15 episodes. It's one fact that was not mentioned all that often after her death. The Jalopy. It may have just been a car, but the Jalopy was just as recognizable as the members of the cast. It's a 1921 broken-down Oldsmobile Model 46 Roadster. When the show ended, the car was donated to a museum for the bicentennial celebrations. It even traveled all the way to England for a while. When people think about the Beverly Hillbillies, they just can't help but think of that old Jalopy. Making money. When it came to making money, the Beverly Hillbillies made more than anybody expected. When the show first started, it brought in $25 million. By the time it ended, it had brought in $100 million. Today, that would be about $518 million, over $500 million. That's great for anybody involved with the show. The idea. The show's creator, Paul Henning, came up with the idea for the show while traveling through the South to visit Civil War sites in 1959. For him, the South was kind of like a culture shock, so he was thinking about what the people in the South would feel if they visited the big city. And that was when the idea was born. His original plan was to have the family move to New York. Because of the logistics and the expensive cost, though, he changed the location to Beverly Hills. The best episode. While all the Beverly Hillbillies episodes are great, Hedda Hopper's Hollywood was ranked as the show's most successful episode. That episode got so much attention it helped the show reach more fans. In 1997, the episode was listed as number 62 on the TV Guide's 100 Greatest Episodes of All Time, and that included every show ever on TV. That's a tremendous honor. The Tin Man. Buddy Ebsen, who played the role of Jed Clampett on the show, he was not just a successful actor, he was also a great dancer. He had roles on Broadway, and he starred in films with Judy Garland and Shirley Temple. He was initially cast as the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz, but when Ray Bolger signed on, he took the role of the Tin Man instead. The aluminum metallic metal makeup that he had to wear for the role caused him to become sick. Because of that, he had to drop out of the film. He said the makeup was to blame for his health problems and lung issues, but he did manage to outlive all the other primary cast members. A lawsuit. Max Baer Jr., Jethro, he filed 5 lawsuits against CBS for using his name in a restaurant. According to Max, the network knew the restaurant chain was using his name, but rather than letting Max know about it, they entered into a secret settlement agreement without Max's knowledge. Raymond Bailey. Raymond Bailey played Mr. Drysdale, the Clampett's banker, and the man who handled their fortune. During the last few years he was on the show, he started showing symptoms of Alzheimer's. During the last 2 or 3 episodes he starred in, it became very apparent that he was sick. After that, he ended up quitting acting altogether. Sadly, he died in 1980 at the age of 75. Dual role. During the first season, Max Baer Jr., again Jethro, he played a dual role in a few episodes. He played the part of Jethro, of course, but he also played the part of his twin sister, Jethreen Bodine. Because he couldn't speak like a woman, Linda Henning, the daughter of the show's creator Paul Henning, voiced over Max's voice when he played Jethreen. I'm telling you, he made the ugliest woman ever. Sonny's real name. Sonny was Margaret Drysdale's son from a previous marriage. He was known as Sonny Drysdale when his mother married the banker, but his real last name was never mentioned on the show. Today, he now knows that his real last name was Adonis. Yeah, I think Drysdale's probably better anyway. Animal trainer. Ellie Mae Clampett loved her critters. To get the animals to behave properly around the actress, they had to have an animal trainer on set. His name was Frank Inn, and he even supplied the critters that appeared on the show. Beverly Hillbillies Barbie. Donna Douglas played Ellie Mae Clampett, Jed's critter-loving daughter. Although she was not the princess type, Mattel's classic TV collection featured her as a Barbie doll. And that would have been an enormous honor, but Donna sued Mattel for using her as a doll without her permission. She had an issue with the packaging and said that she didn't like the black and white photo of her that was included in the box. She ended up settling the suit. Granny's Cooking Cookbook. Irene Ryan is an Emmy-nominated actress and also starred in vaudeville. She's famous for playing Granny, who everybody loved. What a great character she was! She was famous for cooking up her victuals, which were often fried possum. Despite that, though, a cookbook was inspired by the character. It was called Granny's Beverly Hillbillies Cookbook, and it contained delicious recipes, photographs, and character profiles. A comeback. After starring in the Beverly Hillbillies, Buddy Ebsen starred alongside Lee Merriweather in Barnaby Jones. It was a show about a father and his daughter-in-law who ran a private detective firm in Los Angeles together. When the 1993 movie adaptation of the Beverly Hillbillies was filmed, Buddy did make a brief cameo as his character Barnaby Jones. Amazing ratings. The Beverly Hillbillies became a hit from the very beginning. After only 3 weeks on TV, it was the #1 show. That's the fastest rise for any TV show in history. It stayed at #1 for 2 years, also a record breaker. During the show's 8 seasons, it managed to remain in the top 20. The show was that successful and the critics still didn't like it. Go figure. Age rumors. There were rumors that Irene Ryan, who played Granny, was actually younger than Donna Douglas, who played Ellie Mae. People said that they put so much makeup on Irene it only made her look old. Well, in reality, Irene was born in 1902. Donna was born in 1933, so that made Irene 31 years older than Donna. Buddy Ebsen would often joke about how naive the public was to believe such an outrageous rumor. A major sponsor. Kellogg's Corn Flakes was a major sponsor of the Beverly Hillbillies. During the opening credits, Jed points to something on the left side of the screen. It's a Corn Flakes billboard, and the theme song changes to K-E-L-L-O Good, Kellogg's Best for You. The Chimps. People loved Ellie Mae Clampett's pet chimpanzees on the show. Their real names were Skipper and Bessie. This photo was not edited. That really is a chimpanzee in a dress. The Ballad of Jed Clampett. The theme song for the show is called The Ballad of Jed Clampett. The song was sung by Jerry Scoggins and featured the bluegrass duo Flatt and Scruggs. The song was a trademark of the show, and in 1962 it even landed on the Billboard Hot 100 chart at number 44. A best-selling author. Long after Buddy Ebsen retired from acting, he wrote a novel called Kelly's Quest, which was a collection of poems that revealed the story of a young girl's journey through heartbreak. He also included some valuable lessons about love. The book was rejected by 9 different publishers when Buddy decided to publish the book himself. By 2001, that book had reached number 3 on the Los Angeles Times paperback bestseller list. Bea Benaderet. The actress that was first considered for the role of Granny was a legendary actress and voice artist, Bea Benaderet. The producers decided that she was too large and busty to play the role of a feeble little grandmother, so Bea suggested her friend Irene Ryan. Irene's screen test blew everyone away. If you buy the Beverly Hillbillies on DVD, you can see her audition in the bonus features section. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Buddy Ebsen was the first choice for the role of Jed Clampett because he played a similar role in the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. The show's producers remembered him from the movie, and they were sure he was perfect for the part. Almost retired. Before landing the role of Jed Clampett, Buddy Ebsen was seriously considering retiring from acting for good. Fans of the show say they are thankful that he didn't. It's kind of difficult to imagine any other actor other than Buddy playing the role of Jed Clampett, isn't it? Most say that had he not been chosen for the part, the show would have suffered. And I tend to agree. Do you know all the words to the theme song? Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. Well, I'm not going to finish it, but that song's going to be stuck in your head all day now. Subscribe for more.